Hi, my name is Mannequin Johansson, and today you're gonna join me on a journey through the spring semester 2025. And this is me on the picture, and I'm gonna drive you around important stuff today, so listen carefully. So the first thing we're gonna talk about in this video is 4 paths to humanity. The first step is to open our eyes. So what really means with open our eyes? It is about seeing and understanding the world around us without judging. There are so many times that we don't think and really look around us, we just go. But we really need to try to take time to realize things around us and don't just go, and take a minute to really breathe and imagine to see what's really going on. By really looking around and thinking about what you see, you start to see so much more than you did before. I stopped one day and I thought about how different people walk, and then I couldn't stop thinking about it. It can also be about seeing how boring the world has become, with everyone walking around and just looking right down at their mobiles. There are big and small things that you can notice. I think you should challenge yourself and start stopping more and looking around what you really see. As you can see in the video, I have made so many new amazing friends that I didn't know in the beginning I would hang out with. By opening my eyes and daring to start talking to new people, it has led to lot of new opportunities for me. It doesn't have to be a big thing you notice because you start thinking about what you actually see. It can be anything from appreciating the beautiful environment around us that you walk in every day, or see what amazing people you have around you, because as you see in the video, I have so many wonderful people that I have met here that I never gonna forget. We have traveled and discovered the US and Troy together, which is absolutely amazing to have that opportunity to do it together as a team and see the same thing but with different eyes. The second step is about opening our minds. Having an open mind means being open to new ideas, perspectives, and opportunities. It is about being courageous, critically thinking, and prepared to reevaluate your own perceptions based on new information. Open mind is about really hearing what others are saying, even if it differs from your own beliefs, without immediately dismissing or valuing it negatively. When we are open to new thoughts and experience, we give ourselves the opportunity to grow intellectually, emotionally, and socially. An open mind means accepting that the world is not always black or white. It is about being able to live with questions that don't have easy answers. By being open to other people's perspectives, we build bridges between people with different backgrounds and options. That's why I think it's good that people are different, and it is something that is good about this class, that were people with different nationalities. Because then we can take in and learn from each other. We can see life from different angles and from the perspective of different countries. I think it's useful to form contact with people from different backgrounds and from different countries. And as you can see in the video, I have so many new friends from France and Italy who have become friends for life. If I'm going to France, for example, I will have contact with my friends, and I know that they can take care of me there and if I need help. And it's the same for me if I going to Italy. I have friends there that I can feel safe with and I can trust, and I never know if I'm gonna do business with someone in these kind of countries. But one thing I know is that I have friends who can help me in these kind of different countries, and that is what's really matters for me. And that is why it's so good to have international friends. And the third step is to open our hearts. This is about empathy and compassion. By opening our hearts, we can forge deeper relationships, show understanding of the feelings of others, and act with kindness and love. Opening one's heart is a choice to live with human warmth and connections instead of building walls or hiding behind cold and control. It is not always easy to open up your heart to others, as you immediately become vulnerable. But I think it's important to dare to do it for people around you who you really trust. By doing so, you create relationships more deeply. I have dared to do it with new friends I have met here, which has meant that we have gotten to know each other on completely new levels and gained an understanding of each other. I know that it's not always easy, but I think it's important to do it to someone, because then you can let all the emotions coming out on the same time, and that can be good for your heart. To open your heart is also to dare to forgive others, but also yourself. It is realizing that everyone carries something and that kindness can be the most powerful gift we give. It is not always easy. It takes courage to be vulnerable in a world where we often learn to protect ourselves. But in openness, there is a strange humanity and a deeper connection, both with ourselves and with others. So to go around and think that life will work without daring to open up your heart is not something that I think works. We are there for each other for a reason and should take advantage of relationships you have in your life. Sometimes it can be enough to give someone a hug to make a person feel safe to open up his feelings. It is important to meet people with love and joy. I always try to smile and show that I see others. It's not always easy, but it's something you should never stop doing. So the fourth step is to opening our hands. Opening our hands means that we are ready to help, contribute, and engage with the world in a practical way. It is about giving your hand to people who need your help. By opening your hands and lending a helping hand to a person in need, you can make a big difference. It can be about giving your time, energy, resources, or knowledge without demanding anything in return. Wanting to actively participate in people's lives instead of standing on the sidelines. It can be about helping someone get their daily bread or a close friend who needs you. It can also be about standing up for others and taking action when you see something that is not fair. Not just feeling for them, but do something active. Working together with others who also have open hands without it having to be completely controlled or perfect. Opening our hands is thus an expression of making a difference and helping each other through action and consideration. This is where heart and action meet. So what have I learned this semester? I have learned a lot this semester. Not only did I learn how to drive in US, I also got to know amazing new people. I have learned that the professors is not always right, and that it can be good to resist and think differently, because then a discussions with new perspectives and thoughts opens up. I have learned that Americans really are what I thought before, for better or worse. I have learned that not all French people are arrogant, but that is also true that many have such an attitude. Something I have reflected on recently is that I have gotten to know myself much better since I came here. Since I traveled here alone without knowing anyone before, I have made new friends all by myself, and it has made me realize that traveling on my own is not so dangerous. Everything works out better than you thought before. Now I have made new friends for life that I didn't know even exist before. When different situations have been arisen here, I have also been able to see how I act, which I have not reflected on much before. For me, it has been useful to have had time to myself and meet new people to see what you are grateful for at home. I have realized how much my family and friends means to me back home, and how grateful I am for my home country. But at the same time, I have become more eager to travel and discover more of the world. There are always new opportunities and adventure to do, and I am definitely not done with my adventure. I have learned that the school system is not at all the same as in Sweden. There are things that I like more here, and other things I like more about our system at home. But everything has pros and cons. I have learned to adapt to a completely different culture and become so much better at English than I was before. It has been useful for me to live in an English-speaking country to get into the language faster. I am so grateful that my roommate is American, because she has taught me a lot of new words and felt like a security for me here. Even though we haven't hung out that much, it has been so nice to be able to ask someone who knows what to do. She's the kindest in the world, and I couldn't have had a better roommate than her. Before I came here, I was a person who is spontaneous and liked to throw myself out into life. But what I have learned from that is that it actually works. Everything will work out in the end of the day. It is about daring to take the chance, to take the step towards what you want to do in your life. I sat one day and pressed a button for an application to study abroad, and just as quickly I ended up in Troy. And that is just crazy. I have never think that it was that easy to just do what you have always dreamed about. It takes patience, but it's worth it every day of the week. I could have done this adventure again and again 5 times if it had worked. Because it had given me so many memories and experience I wouldn't have had if I was just studying at home in Sweden this spring. Imagine having had the opportunity to travel to Miami, New Orleans, Panama City Beach, Orlando, Nashville, Birmingham, etc. in just a few months. That is what I have had here. It's crazy. It's absolutely fantastic. I was so happy when I heard that you offer students at Troy University to study abroad. So all of you, welcome to Europe, guys. It is worth it every day of the week to take the opportunity because you will never regret it. It will give you so many new ways of looking at life. You will reflect on things you haven't done before and notice what you like about your own country. I have learned that the way you teach here makes me more motivated than how they teach in Sweden, because you make it more creative. Watch the video. We got to try to do movements, and believe it or not, I learned something new that day. I learned that we all react differently to exercise and that we have different levels of getting out of our comfort zones. Some go all in while others hardly dare to move. But that is the great thing, that we are all different, and that is how we can learn from each other. Thank God that we are different, because imagine how sad if we had all been the same. It is important that we lift each other up for who we are and that we do not try to change each other. Just be the one you are, because you are enough exactly who you are. To be a global citizen is to make new friends, be a kind person, and always enjoy the small things in life. Create new memories and take in new perspectives from other cultures. And thank you to all the people who welcomed me here in Troy. And thank you, Dr. Clint, who have made a big impression on me. I will never forget what Troy has done in my life. I will be forever grateful for this semester. And thank you for all the new perspectives and discussions in the classroom that have made me see how people see the world from here. Kiss and hug from Sweden.